beautiful sight. I'm witnessing right now all the people here to witness this dedication tonight for a dear friend and brother-in-law of mine who turned the basketball court into a banquet hall. And I've got a lot of compliments already about the way this looks, and I appreciate it. I appreciate every one of you being here tonight to celebrate this special occasion. Coach Mansfield, our head varsity boys basketball coach, is going to come up and provide the invocation, and then we'll have dinner. Waylon Bell and his crew have prepared a wonderful meal, and you'll go through the line starting on the far end where Waylon is now. Waylon, raise your hand there. We appreciate Waylon and what he does. He prepares a great meal every time we ask him to. And he's got a great cooking team that helps him, so we appreciate that. So we'll go through the line starting on that end. Just the drinks are over here, sweet and unsweet tea and water, and then there's cheesecake with toppings for dessert. So as you go through, make sure you get one of everything. And then after dinner, man, we've got a special treat. Gavin Gillikin is going to come up and provide reflections of a player. And I can't wait to hear that. And then following Gavin, we'll do the gym dedication. Okay? So Coach Mansfield, if you'll come on up and provide the invocation. Thank you.
Thank all of you for being here this evening, and it's an honor and a privilege. If we could all bow our heads. Dear Lord, we gather here today to honor and remember our great friend, coach, mentor, player, husband, father, brother, and brother-in-law, and son. We ask that you keep him in our hearts and our minds. We ask you shine on all of us here as we honor a true patriot who played and coached multiple sports here. We ask you to help glorify and pay reverence to his life, physical education, and performance. A true educator and a leader. Dear Lord, we ask you to bless this wonderful food to the nourishment of our bodies. We pray that you will give all of us the spirit to remember and honor our friend, Craig McClanahan. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mark. We're going to go ahead and start serving, and we'll let our first 4 tables go, and then after they finish going through the line, then I'll go to a table and tell you to go get your food as well. Plenty of time for the meal, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, thank you. Continue on with our program. I hope you enjoyed the meal. I want to thank Waylon and the cooking team once again for the wonderful meal. I want to give their names. Waylon headed up, Eric Lee, Dylan Reed, William Ramsey, Luke Smith, Matthew Wagner, and Cruz Haney. Thank you. And Jack, thanks for helping with the drinks over here. Jack Wagner, thank you. Also on the drinks, Kate McCurdy. Kate's a student here at West, and Lancaster, my wife, and I appreciate you and my sister being here last night, helping me to set up for this event, so thank you very much. Casey Collins, thank you. You and Mr. Bill Garrett for checking people out. Thanks a lot. Amy, we worked out the cheerleading practice yesterday, didn't we? And I appreciate you and Missy helping me get those tables back. Michael Hale's a teacher here at West, and he helped me set up the stage. Without him, I probably would have got the stage set up on Friday. Cassandra Morris, where is Cassandra? Thank you for coming, making the long trip here, and helping get us started on the drinks tonight. Appreciate it. Good to see you. I got to thank our athletic director, Michael Turner, and our assistant athletic director for helping with this, supporting this. It means a lot. Those guys will jump on board and supported me through this whole process, so I appreciate it very much. Athletic Director Smith, thank you very much. JJ Smith from the Carteret County News Times, thank you for being here for covering the event tonight. Mr. Corey Johnson. Mr. Johnson, will you raise your hand back there? Mr. Johnson's our current principal, and Assistant Principal John Sorolic. John, thank you for your help with this event tonight. Also want to recognize two former principals at West Carteret High School. Mr. Gordon Patrick. Raise your hand, Mr. Patrick, over here. Thank you for being here. Mr. Joe Blake, will you raise your hand? I appreciate you being here as well. And Steve Rayner, I've got to recognize you, man, because you maybe have spent as many hours in this gym as anybody in this room, and I appreciate you coming back to help us celebrate tonight. Steve was a long-time custodian here at West, and after many ball games, he was in there cleaning this place up. And Steve, it's good to see you, and I appreciate you. Board of Education members, 3 of them are here tonight. I appreciate them being here. Travis Day, Dennis Goodwin, and Katie Scott. Thank you very much. And my good friend, Mark Mansfield, County Commissioner, current West Carteret High School boys varsity basketball coach. Thank you. I do want to recognize the people that have facilities named in their honor here at West. And as I was planning this event, and knowing that the proposal to name this gym was in the works, I walked around the campus and realized just how many facilities that this school has named after people. And that's a testament to the history of this school and the many fine people that have volunteered here and worked here for years that have been recognized for their outstanding service. I want to take a moment to recognize these people. Starting on the back corner of the campus, the west end of the campus, our softball field is named Daniel Bell Field. And Daniel was a student manager for the softball and basketball teams here, girls basketball and softball. And Daniel lost his life in a vehicle accident while serving in the military in Spain years ago. And so the softball team at the time, the coach at the time was Coach Phyllis Willis, they recognized his contributions to West Carteret athletics and named that field Daniel Bell Field. The D. Gordon Patrick Athletic Complex. Mr. Patrick worked as an educator in Carteret County for 41 years, and 38 of those years was here at West, where he taught, coached, and was principal of West Carteret. Mr. Patrick, thanks again for all you've done for this school. Moving on across the back of the campus, Gavin Field, the longtime teacher and coach in the Carteret County school system. He was this school's first varsity boys basketball coach. He came over from the old Moorhead High School. Some people here may remember the gym that he coached in. It was called Towers Temple. And there was a potbelly stove at the end of that gym that they used to keep it warm. He also coached baseball, and so the baseball field here is named Gavin Field in his honor and memory. And there was a book written about Coach Talbot, and we're fortunate enough to have the co-author of that book here tonight to represent Coach Talbot. Shannon Adams is here with his wife Cecilia, representing Coach. Guys, will you raise your hands if you recognize? Thank you very much. The Chisholm Hall hitting facility. The outstanding West Carteret High School baseball player who went on to play college baseball and then do something that not many people can say they've done, play in the major leagues. Lonnie Chisholm, his wife Meredith are here. Guys, raise your hand. Thanks for being here. The Glenn Howe building on the east end of campus, and then just as you step in the hallway from the east end of campus is the J. Roger Newby Memorial Location at Glenn. So the Glenn Howe building and the Newby Memorial Location at Glenn, both these guys were long-time agriculture teachers here at West who maintain excellent ag programs and FFA programs. And then, this floor that you're sitting on tonight, Widgeon Court, the longtime educator and coach who built a tremendous basketball program at West. And this court was named in his honor. Coach Widgeon was a legend. And his son, Ben, is with us tonight. Ben, raise your hand. Thank you for being here. I asked Gavin Gillikin if he would come and provide some words, his reflections of Coach McClanahan, and he agreed to do so. Gavin and his good friend and teammate James Kennan were the first two West Carteret High School varsity basketball players to win 3 conference championships in a row. And there's been one other to do that. Jackson Ellingsworth became the 3rd player to win it. So we had 3 players in the history of boys varsity basketball, West Carteret, to be a part of 3 conference championships. Gavin graduated in 21, so he was a part of that 19, 20 and 21, those 3 conference championships. And Gavin loved basketball, still loves basketball. He loves Craig McClanahan, and I thought he would be a perfect fit to provide reflections on the coach. So Gavin, come on up.
Good evening. My name is Gavin, and I am a graduate of the class of 2021 from West Carteret High School. I am very honored to be here today. Before coming to West Carteret High School, I did not know Coach McClanahan very well. I had seen him around school and at the gym, but we really had never met. Being 5'7" since middle school, I knew there was no way I would play varsity basketball as a freshman. But I was going to do whatever it took to make it my sophomore year. I knew that meant I had to impress Coach McClanahan as an athlete. JV basketball was pretty good for me. I think we lost a total of 5 games that entire season. This was one game I knew Coach McClanahan was watching from the corner of the baseline. I don't recall who we were playing, but it was a close game and we were almost at halftime. With about 5 seconds left, the court, and I thought, this is my chance. I was maybe 2 steps inside the half-court line, and I drained a beautiful three-pointer at the buzzer. Never mind James, Ian, John, or whoever was probably wide open under the basket. I just wanted to show Coach McClanahan that I could shoot the ball from anywhere on that court. As we were heading back to the locker room, I heard a familiar voice say, "Come here, son." As soon as I heard him, I turned around and ran directly over to him. He said, "Boy, if you want to play on my varsity team next year, you'll never shoot a shot like that again." Needless to say, I was a bit more selective with my shots after that. I don't think anyone could understand the excitement I felt when Coach McClanahan invited me to play in the ECI as a rising sophomore. It ended up being a pretty good tournament for us, and I knew that the upcoming season was going to be a good one. One thing I remember feeling during practices and games was just an overwhelming feeling of overwhelming desire to prove to him I was a basketball player. Throughout my first varsity season with him, I was never a starter. I was his favorite 6th, 7th, and sometimes 8th man, no matter how many points I scored. He said he liked the energy I brought off the bench. It was our next to last regular season game, and we were playing against Wide Open. We were playing at Wide Open, and the gymnasium was packed and loud. It had been a super close game since the start, and now we were down by 1 with 1 second on the clock. I cannot make this up. I have a slow-mo video to prove it, I promise you. Coach McClanahan called a timeout. It was our ball at half court. In this moment, we knew what we had on the line. If we lose this game, there is no way we can become the outright Coastal 3A Conference champions. If we win, we get to play in our last regular season game against Northside with a conference title on the line. So here we go. Coach draws up the play. He knows they will be looking for JJ to take the shot, so he uses him as a decoy. He puts the ball in the hands of a 5'7" sophomore. Yes, I didn't grow all the way from my freshman year. So, he puts the hands in a 5'7" sophomore hands to inbound the ball to Deshaun Jones. Deshaun Jones shot the most beautiful three-pointer that I'm not even sure touched the net. I'll never forget the coach's reaction, proudly walking across the court with both arms. It was that moment that will never be forgotten by anyone who was in attendance at that game. Next up, the only team standing in our way before West Carteret to get our first conference championship in 33 years was Northside High School. The gym, this very gym, was packed. You could feel that something amazing was going to happen that night. So as expected, it was a battle from the start. I'd be willing to bet that most everyone was completely on their feet for the last 10 minutes of that game. The Patriot militia was so loud, and the North Side had a big crowd at that game as well. Suddenly, a whistle blew, and the foul was called. the line for 2 shots. No pressure, right? Thankfully, both those baskets fell, and the Patriots were up by 1. We held them scoreless in the last few seconds. Seemed like eternity. And we won the first Coastal 3A Conference Championship in 33 years. If none of you have ever saw Coach dance, you missed out. He could throw out some of the 80s dance moves like no other. In that locker room after that big win. So at the start of my junior season, Coach announced his retirement. And yeah, I was pretty bummed out. I was looking forward to repeat for the previous season. Well, I was looking forward to a repeat of the previous season, but I knew in my heart he would be back in some capacity. So in December of 2019, I heard through the Sports Center grapevine that Coach was not doing well. And in all honesty, I didn't pay much attention to it because there was no way Coach was sick. He was the most physical, fit person I ever known. How could he possibly be sick with lung cancer? It just didn't fit. In January of 2020, I decided to stop by and pay a visit to my coach at his home. When I arrived, I was greeted by Mrs. McClanahan, and she told me I could go in and visit him. If there was ever a moment in my life that I am so grateful for, it was that day. It hurt my heart to see him sick, but I had the opportunity to tell him exactly what he did to me. I'm not sure if I even really knew how much I lived up there until that very moment. Later that night, I wrote play for Craig, play for Coach Craig on my shoes, the very shoes I am wearing right now. In February of 2020, Coach was feeling better and was able to attend a few of my home games. One game in particular, Coach was sitting in the bleachers close to the scores table. I knew Coach Mansfield was going to put me in soon, so I went and sat by Coach McClanahan. I asked him what he thought I should do once I entered the game. His words will never be forgotten by me. He said, "Gavin, just go in there and be yourself." Those simple words were just so profound to me. I instantly realized that he believed in me, and he had always believed in me. I love knowing that those very words in our relationship were so much more than just the game of basketball. So on June 27, 2020, our coach, our mentor, our friend, passed away. The following August was the start of my senior season. I honestly wasn't sure if I wanted to play. We had players that were not returning, and the word was going around the conference that we weren't even going to be any good. I had to finish what Coach McClanahan, Coach Lancaster, James Gillikin, and myself had started. The 2020 and 2021 was shorter than normal due to COVID. However, they proved to be the most exciting. Senior night was the last regular season game, and just like the prior 2 seasons, the conference championship was on the line. Due to COVID restrictions, the gym was only at a minimal capacity. My mom had the right idea to print out fat heads of family and friends of all seniors that were not allowed to attend because we needed a packed house. The first person on that fat head list was Coach McClanahan. He had laid the foundation for this moment in his last season of coaching. If we could end this game with a victory, James Gillikin and I would go down in West Carteret history as the first men's basketball players to ever win 3 conference championships in a row. The only thing that would have made winning that 3 conference championships any better would have been if Coach McClanahan was physically there to share all of this. Now, I've done a lot of thinking since playing my last high school basketball game about what I want my future to look like. When I say this man inspired me, he inspired me. There was 2 things I know for certain. First, I want to coach. There's absolutely nothing I enjoy more. Secondly, I want kids to look up at me the way I looked up to Coach McClanahan. So here are a few things I would like to share with you. He made me want to be a better player every time I stepped on that court. He inspired me and showed me how I wanted to give back to my community. He was the kind of leader that didn't walk around telling people how much he loved his school. He was the kind of leader that jumped in and got his hands dirty, making his school the best it could be. He was a patriot through and through. I hate that he isn't here to experience this and feel the gratitude that everyone has shown. There is absolutely no other name for West Carteret High School gym other than Craig McClanahan Gymnasium. Thank you for the Board of Education for accepting the proposal. And most importantly, thank you, Ms. Jackie, and thank you, Michael, for sharing Coach with us all. Thank you.
Thank Gavin for that, Cliff and Christy and Carson. Very proud of you. Thank you very much, Gavin. That was great. Come here tonight to honor and remember and celebrate the accomplishments of Coach McClanahan. He was a husband to his high school sweetheart, my sister Jackie McClanahan. He's a father to Michael. He's a teacher, the coach, an athletic director, a family man, a friend to many, and some they call him the King. His family, his co-workers and friends were always special to him. Will always be special to them. Craig grew up in Newport. He attended Newport Elementary School through 8th grade. And after finishing school in Newport, he attended West Carteret High School, where he was a standout basketball and tennis player. He earned the school's most outstanding athlete award during his senior year and graduated in 1978. His athletic accomplishments earned him a scholarship to play basketball and tennis at Mount Olive College. He earned his 4-year degree at East Carolina University. When Craig started dating my sister when I was 4 years old, I aggravated him so much in those early years, but the relationship grew closer as the years went by. When I was in 8th grade at Morgan City Middle School, Craig would come pick me up from school so I could come and sit on the bench with him while he coached the JV boys varsity basketball team here at West. And then fast forward 12 years later to 1998, after coaching and teaching duties at Morehead City Middle School and Beaufort Middle School, Coach McClanahan accepted the job as a health and physical education teacher and head varsity boys basketball coach here at West. He later became the tennis coach at West, coaching the boys and girls teams for a total of 17 years. And then he added the athletic director job to his list of responsibilities and served in that role for 15 years. And Troy and Michael, I know that you know firsthand just what the duties of an athletic director are comprised of. He took teaching seriously and was known as a very good teacher by his colleagues and students. He could teach his classes and manage the many duties of the athletic director and prepare for practices and games. After accepting the head varsity boys job, he asked me to be his basketball coaching assistant. And for all of his 21 seasons as the head coach, I assisted him. And I'm very grateful for those 21 seasons. And I'm very grateful for all those players that played for us. Right now, I want those players that are in this gymnasium tonight, if you played for Coach McClanahan, if you'll please stand just to recognize you. He loved coaching and he had a passion for athletics. And I saw firsthand that Craig was extremely knowledgeable about the game. He was good at teaching kids how to play basketball. He was a good motivator. He was very demanding of his players, but he was fair. And he challenged the student athletes to improve. And he could always get the most out of them. And his teams were always well prepared for competition and they played hard. You might know that Coach McClanahan liked to use that white marker board during timeouts. And if I didn't have that marker board ready at the beginning of a timeout, he'd yell, "Robert, give me that marker board." And I always had a spare marker pen in my pocket just in case the one attached to the board dried up. Many of Craig's basketball and tennis teams advanced to the state playoffs, and we had numerous tennis players advance to regional competition. He earned Conference Coach of the Year awards in both sports, and his 18-19 basketball team won the program's first conference championship in 33 years with a 19-6 overall record. At the time, he became just the second varsity boys basketball coach in school history to win a conference championship, joining Billy Widgeon, who was Craig's high school basketball coach. Patriot varsity boys basketball teams had winning records in 5 of Coach McClanahan's final 6 seasons.
Craig was also an excellent athletic director. He was very organized and a true perfectionist. He led Patriot athletic programs to numerous Wachovia Cup awards, Wells Fargo Cup awards, conference championships, regional championships, individual state championships, team state championships, team sportsmanship awards, and facilities upgrades. He was instrumental in coordinating the fundraising and installation of the current scoreboard and play clocks on the football and lacrosse soccer field, and the installation of an electronic sign with landscaping in front of the school. He also coordinated the fundraising and installation of the current gymnasium scoreboards that you see here tonight. He was responsible for purchasing and installation of the gymnasium goal wrenches and baseline wall pads. He was responsible for the purchasing of the current score tables and chairs, for redesigning the gym floor, for having the gym bleacher seats refinished, for having the gym floor re-waxed each year. Coach McClanahan was always a step ahead in planning and preparation. He valued hard work, always trying to meet the needs of student athletes and coaches. He often used funds from the basketball account to cover expenses for non-revenue sports. He treated people with respect and gave them the time they deserved. He was well respected among his students, athletes, peers, and the community. Craig was a natural leader who was tireless in his efforts to make Patriot athletic programs the best they could be. He founded and directed an annual holiday basketball tournament held at West Carteret and served on the West Carteret High School Athletic Hall of Fame Committee. Craig assisted with the financial coordination of the Chisholm Hall hitting facility and was a leader in the naming of the Deepwater Patrick Athletic Complex and Widgeon Court. He once said, "I want to leave the program knowing that every decision I've made was for the benefit of West Carteret athletics." He was always proud to student athletes and coaches for their accomplishments. He was a true patriot, as Gavin mentioned, who bled red, white, and blue. I remember the 2013 December night when West Carteret Athletics dedicated this gymnasium floor as Widgeon Court. Craig thought so much of Coach Widgeon and the opportunity to be a part of that ceremony. And after a game one night, Craig and my sister were riding in the car to go get something to eat. And she looked at Craig and noticed a tear coming out of his eye. And naturally, she asked him what was wrong. She thought he was upset because his team lost this game. But Craig told her it was because he thought he had let Coach Widgeon down. By the way, the first time my sister ever saw Craig was in this gym. Craig was also proud to be a part of naming our athletic facilities outside the Deepwater Patrick Athletic Complex. He thought so much of Mr. Patrick. Mr. Patrick hired Craig as the basketball coach, tennis coach, and athletic director. Thank you, Mr. Patrick, for giving Craig a chance. And after Mr. Patrick's retirement, he continued to support and help Craig. And after working at West Carteret the last 21 years of his 34 years working in the Carter County Public School System, Craig retired in 2019. And as Gavin mentioned, in the latter part of that year, he was diagnosed with cancer. And people would ask me all the time how Craig was doing. They cared so much about him. And I tried to be positive in my responses, but I knew he was very sick and fighting a brave battle for his life. And I was shocked, as Gavin was, how this muscular, healthy, and physically fit person that I knew could be so sick. But he was always very humble throughout his battle, very appreciative of what people did for him, and very considerate of others. He appreciated me sitting with him at his chemotherapy appointments. And when he was in the hospital in 2020, during the Super Bowl, I watched the game with him in his hospital room. And it always amazed me how someone so sick would always want me to be comfortable. And he would ask me if there was anything I needed. The guy with the perfectly gelled hair who always wore the clothes that perfectly matched his shoes and even his watches was loved and respected by many. touched so many people's lives. He was inducted publicly into the West Carteret High School Athletic Hall of Fame at a basketball game in December of 2021. So this evening, we're officially naming the West Carteret High School Gymnasium in honor and memory of Craig. And the guidelines to name a facility are very detailed, as they should be, and are outlined as follows in the Carter County Board of Education Policy Code 9300, naming facilities. Any proposal to place a sign, a name, or a plaque on a property under the jurisdiction of the Board of Education must be reviewed by the superintendent before it's presented to the board for consideration. And commemoratives recommended by the superintendent to the board will be acted upon after a period of time as elapsed, which shall be no less than 12 months. The following requirements must be met before a commemorative is approved. Individuals so honored should have rendered exemplary service in a particular school or facility for a period of not less than 8 years, or less, or should have rendered exemplary service to several schools in the Carter County Public School System over a period of not less than 15 years. Individuals so honored should have either culminated their careers in the Carter County Public School System, i.e. retired from the Carter County Public School System, or died while actively employed. Nominations are appropriate no less than 2 years following the date of culmination of service. An individual so honored must be recommended and sponsored through group nomination as opposed to individual nomination. So this gym dedication was supported by a statement signed by coaches, a letter from the Athletic Booster Club, a letter from Gavin, Gillikin, who our superintendent gave you a lot of credit for, Gavin. He was very impressed with the letter. And letters and emails from administrators, a high school basketball official, and friends of Craig. The superintendent, Dr. Rob Jackson, presented the proposal to the Board of Education in its August 2021 meeting. And then 1 year later, at the August 2022 board meeting, Dr. Jackson reviewed the proposal with the board, and I attended both of those meetings. And at the August 22 meeting with current principal Corey Johnson sitting beside me, I watched the board vote unanimously to approve naming this gymnasium in honor and memory of Craig. So this evening, as a result of the many people who supported this dedication and the Board of Education's unanimous vote, we now officially dedicate this gymnasium as it reads at the top of each scoreboard, Craig McClanahan Gymnasium. The 44 on the scoreboard was Craig's jersey number as a Patriot basketball player. And the 21 represents the number of years he worked at West Carteret High School. You might ask about those fives on the timeout. Craig was adamant that he had most or all of his timeouts left at the end of the game. So I decided to leave 5 up there. Remember him with his timeouts at the end. Craig would be so honored that this gymnasium is dedicated in his honor. And on behalf of his family, co-workers, and the many friends, I say thank you to all the many people who supported the dedication. I want to thank you for attending tonight's dedication. This concludes the ceremony. Thank you for being here, and have a safe trip home. Thank you.